लेकिन यहां अजीब जनतंत्र है, सारी फाइलें एलजी साहब के पास जाती हैं, सारी फाइलें एलजी साहब के पास जाती हैं। एलजी साहब ने एक बार नहीं 2 बार ऑब्जेक्शन लगा के फाइल के ऊपर भेजा। अभी मैं पढ़ के सुनाऊंगा थोड़ी देर में। 2 बार ऑब्जेक्शन लगा के भेजा। तो जब बार बार ऑब्जेक्शन लगाया जाता है, एलजी साहब कह रहे हैं ना कि मैंने तो मना थोड़ी किया। जब 2 बार ऑब्जेक्शन लगाया, अब तीसरी बार भेजेंगे तो फिर ऑब्जेक्शन लगाएंगे, तो इसका मतलब आपकी नीयत खराब है। एक बाबू क्या करता है, आप अपना लाइसेंस बनाने जाते हो, लाइसेंस बनाने वाला मना थोड़ी करता है, वो ऑब्जेक्शन पे ऑब्जेक्शन, ऑब्जेक्शन पे ऑब्जेक्शन, फिर आप दलाल को पकड़ते हो। वो दलाल कहता है इतने पैसे दे दो, बाबू को अंदर पैसे दे दूंगा और वो अब फाइल क्लियर कर देगा। तो ये बार बार जो ऑब्जेक्शन लगाए जा रहे हैं, इसीलिए तो लगाए जा रहे हैं, नीयत खराब है। फिनलैंड टीचर्स को भेजने नहीं देना चाहते। आज मैं ये लेके आया हूं महोदय, बीजेपी वालों के कितने एमपीज ऐसे हैं, ये पूरी लिस्ट है, जो खुद विदेशों में पढ़ के आए हैं। इनकी कभी इनके मां बाप ने कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस करी? कितने एमपी ऐसे हैं जो खुद विदेशों में पढ़ के आए हैं? इनके कितने एमएलए ऐसे हैं जो खुद विदेशों में पढ़ के आए हैं? कभी इनके मां बाप ने कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस करी? ये बच्चे हैं कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर्स के, बीजेपी वालों के बच्चे, जिन के बच्चे अभी विदेशों में पढ़ रहे हैं। मेरे को इससे कोई एतराज नहीं है, मैं किसी की शिक्षा के खिलाफ नहीं हूं। बीजेपी वाले, कांग्रेस वाले, आम आदमी पार्टी वाले, जिसको भगवान ने अच्छा दिया जिंदगी में, वो अपने बच्चों को भेजे, जरूर भेजे। अच्छी से अच्छी शिक्षा सबके बच्चों को मिलनी चाहिए। मैं इसके विरोध में नहीं हूं कि इन्होंने क्यों भेजा। मैं इसके विरोध में हूं कि अगर तुम अपने बच्चों को अच्छी शिक्षा देना चाहते हो तो गरीबों के बच्चों की अच्छी शिक्षा के खिलाफ क्यों हो तुम लोग? अगर हम अपने बच्चों को, गरीबों के बच्चों को अच्छी शिक्षा देना चाहते हैं, अपने बच्चों को अच्छी शिक्षा देना चाहते हैं, तो तुम रोकने वाले कौन होते हो? ये एक फ्यूडल माइंडसेट है। ये कई सौ साल पुरानी जो हमारे देश में फ्यूडल माइंडसेट है ना, कि गरीबों को अच्छी शिक्षा, इस जात के लोगों को, उस जात के लोगों को अच्छी शिक्षा नहीं मिलनी चाहिए, गरीबों को अच्छी शिक्षा नहीं शिक्षा जो है इन ठेकेदारों की बपौती रहनी चाहिए। इसको तोड़ना है हम लोगों को। और ये एलजी साहब उसी माइंडसेट से आते हैं कि एलजी साहब के बच्चों को तो मिलनी चाहिए अच्छी शिक्षा, गरीबों के बच्चों को अच्छी शिक्षा नहीं मिलनी चाहिए। इस माइंडसेट को तोड़ना है अपने को, पूरे देश को तोड़ना है। आजादी मिल गई, लेकिन ये माइंडसेट अभी भी है कि गरीबों के, इस जात के, उस जात के बच्चों को अच्छी शिक्षा नहीं लेने देंगे। ये विदेश कैसे जा सकते हैं? पढ़ो, एलजी साहब ने लिखा है इंडिया में करा लो ट्रेनिंग। ये एलजी साहब की नोटिंग है, इंडिया में करा लो ट्रेनिंग। अरे क्यों करा ले इंडिया में ट्रेनिंग? हम कम है किसी से? गरीबों के बच्चे कम है किसी से? गरीबों के बच्चे हैं तो इंटेलिजेंट नहीं है क्या? क्यों करा ले? हम तो अपने बच्चों को फिनलैंड भेजेंगे। पूरी दुनिया में सबसे अच्छी शिक्षा फिनलैंड के अंदर मिलती है, सबसे अच्छी। ये सबको पता है, फिनलैंड पूरी दुनिया में शिक्षा में नंबर 1 है। और उसमें भी जो नंबर 1 यूनिवर्सिटी है उसमें भेज रहे हैं हम। पूरी दुनिया में जो नंबर 1 हम तो भेजेंगे सर। दिल्ली के लोगों का पैसा है, टैक्स का पैसा है दिल्ली के लोगों का, टैक्स के पैसे से, दिल्ली के टैक्स के पैसे से भेज रहे हैं। लोगों का पैसा, लोगों के बच्चे, अपने पैसे से लोग अपने बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग के लिए भेजते हैं। ये वो क्या कहते हैं, पराए घर में अब्दुल्ला दीवाना। ये एलजी कौन हो गया है? बेगानी शादी में अब्दुल्ला दीवाना। ये एलजी कहां से आ गया? कौन है एलजी? कहां से आ गया एलजी? किस बात का एलजी? कौन एलजी? कौन लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर? हमारे सर पे बैठ गया आके लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर। अब वो तय करेंगे कि हम अपने बच्चों को कहां पढ़ाएंगे। ऐसी सामंतवादी सोच के लोगों ने आज हमारे देश को पीछे छोड़ा हुआ। मैं कई बार सोचता था 70 साल हो गए हमारे देश को, 75 साल हो गए हमारे देश को, इतना पिछड़ा कैसे रह गया, इतना अनपढ़ कैसे रह गया, इतना गरीब कैसे? इन लोगों ने जानबूझ के, इन लोगों ने देश को गरीब रखा है। इन लोगों ने हमारे बच्चों को पढ़ने नहीं दिया। ये तो सामने आ गया, नंगे हो गए ये लोग। इन लोगों ने हमारे बच्चों को, बड़ी मजे की बात है, एलजी साहब के पास पावर नहीं है ये करने की। एलजी साहब के पास पावर नहीं है ये करने की। मैं भी आपको दिखाता हूं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने साफ साफ कहा है कि भाई 3 चीजें हैं। एक है पुलिस, पब्लिक ऑर्डर और लैंड। इन तीनों चीजों को छोड़ के एलजी साहब के पास कोई भी निर्णय लेने का अधिकार नहीं है। ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर है। 2018 4 जुलाई 2018 को ये ऑर्डर पास किया था सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने। सुप्रीम कोर्ट तो देश की सर्वोच्च अदालत है, वो तो सबको माननी पड़ती है ना। इसमें से मैं पढ़ के सुनाता हूं। इसमें लिखा हुआ है पैरा 284। अब तो सबको रट गया होगा पैरा भी, कल 3 दिन से मैं बोल रहा हूं। 284.17 पैरा, इसमें लिखा है द लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर हैज नॉट बीन एंट्रस्टेड विद एनी इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर। इसकी हिंदी क्या हुई? लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर, दिल्ली के लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर को स्वतंत्र रूप से कोई भी निर्णय लेने का अधिकार नहीं है, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट कह रहा है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट को पता था एक बार लिखने से नहीं मानेगा एलजी, उन्होंने 2 बार लिखा। उन्होंने फिर पैराग्राफ नंबर 475.20 में लिखा देयर इज नो इंडिपेंडेंट अथॉरिटी वेस्टेड इन लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर टू टेक डिसीजंस। अब इससे फालतू बेचारा सुप्रीम कोर्ट भी क्या करेगा? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने साफ साफ लिखा है भाई एलजी साहब के पास डिसीजन लेने की पावर नहीं है। मैं जब एलजी साहब से मिलने गया अभी 3 दिन पहले, तो मैंने ये पढ़ के सुनाया उनको। मैंने कहा सर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ये कह रहा है। कहते हैं हाँ सुप्रीम कोर्ट की अपनी राय हो सकती है। सर अध्यक्ष महोदय, इसके बाद मेरे पास कुछ कहने को नहीं बचा था। इतने बड़े संवैधानिक पोजीशन के ऊपर बैठा हुआ व्यक्ति अगर ये कहता है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर सुप्रीम कोर्ट की राय हो सकती है, मैंने कहा सर आप जो ये कह रहे हैं ना, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट का कंटेम्प्ट है। आप ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते। सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश कानून है इस देश का, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश बाइंडिंग है इस देश के ऊपर, इस देश के हर नागरिक के ऊपर। बोले नहीं, मैं बोले संविधान में लिखा है कि एलजी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है। एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर का मतलब शासक होता है, तो मेरे पास सुप्रीम पावर्स है, मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूं। इसके बाद में क्या कहता, फिर उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने मना थोड़ी किया है। मैंने कहा जी 2 बार आपने वापस भेज दी फाइल, 2 बार आपने लिखा। क्या लिखा? पहली बार लिखते हैं मुझे ये बताया जाए कि क्या डीओपीटी की गाइडलाइंस का पालन किया गया। ये जिस यूनिवर्सिटी में भेज रहे हो, इस यूनिवर्सिटी ने और कौन कौन से कार्यक्रम कराए, इससे क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव हासिल होगा। अरे मैं मुख्यमंत्री हूं, मैंने देख लिया यार सारा। मैंने एलजी साहब को बोला, मैंने कहा सर आप मेरे हेडमास्टर थोड़ी हो, इतने तो मैं स्कूल में पढ़ाई में बहुत अच्छा था, फर्स्ट आया करता था क्लास में थ्रू आउट। पहली क्लास से लेके 12वीं क्लास तक फर्स्ट आया, यूनिवर्सिटी टॉपर था, कुरुक्षेत्र यूनिवर्सिटी में टॉप किया था मैंने, पहले 6th पोजीशन थी मेरी। मेरे मास्टरों ने आज तक मेरा होमवर्क ऐसे चेक नहीं किया जैसे एलजी साहब आज मेरी फाइलें लेके बैठ जाते हैं। स्पेलिंग गलत है, हैंडराइटिंग खराब है, ये ऐसे क्यों नहीं लिखा, ये वैसे क्यों नहीं लिखा। मेरे मास्टरों ने ऐसे नहीं किया जैसे एलजी साहब मेरा होमवर्क चेक करते हैं। मैं चुना हुआ मुख्यमंत्री हूं, दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोगों ने मेरे को चुन के भेजा है। आप कौन है? मैंने उनसे पूछा आप कौन है, ये मैंने पूछा एलजी साहब से। मैंने कहा सर आप कौन है? मेरे को तो जनता ने चुन के भेजा। कहते मेरे को प्रेसिडेंट ने भेजा। मैंने कहा वैसे ही जैसे अंग्रेज वाइसरॉय भेजते थे वैसे ही आपको प्रेसिडेंट ने पहले। बोले आपकी सरकार अच्छी नहीं चल रही, आपने ये नहीं किया, आपने वो नहीं किया, आपकी सरकार में ये। मैंने सर वो वाइसरॉय जो होते थे ना, वो कहते थे यू ब्लडी इंडियंस, यू डोंट नो हाउ टू गवर्न। मैंने कहा एलजी साहब आज आप भी वही भाषा इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो, यू ब्लडी डेली वालाज, यू डोंट नो हाउ टू गवर्न। मैंने कहा सर दिल्ली छोड़ दो, हमारे हालात पे हम अपनी दिल्ली चला लेंगे। कहते हैं कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस कराओ। मैंने एलजी साहब से पूछा सर मेरे को वो धारा बता दो संविधान की। मैं सारे सर ये जो आज मैं लेके आया हूं ना, ये सब लेके गया था मैं एलजी साहब के पास, ये सारी चीजें लेके गया था। मैंने कहा सर ये आपके सामने रखी है, अब मेरे को इसमें दिखा दो आपको कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस ऑर्डर करने की पावर किस कानून के तहत है। कौन सा कानून, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश आपको ये पावर देता है कि आप दिल्ली सरकार के किसी काम की कॉस्ट बेनिफिट। मैं कराऊंगा, मेरे को जनता ने कहा है मैं कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस कराऊंगा। ये सदन है, ये सदन कराएगा, इसकी कमेटियां कराएगी, ये कमेटियां कराती है, ये सौरभ मेरे को बताता है, राजेश बताता है, सोमनाथ, ये सारे बताते हैं, ये कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस ये लोग कराएंगे। आप कौन होते हो कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस कराने वाले? दिल्ली के अंदर चुनाव हार गए और उसके बाद अब कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस, आपके पास तो पावर नहीं है। मैंने उनसे पूछा, उनके पास कोई जवाब नहीं था। फिर मैंने उनसे पूछा, मैंने कहा सर ये 10 एल्डरमैन कैसे बना दिया आपने? ये तो आपके पास पावर नहीं है, तो ट्रांसफर्ड सब्जेक्ट है, एमसीडी एक्ट तो ट्रांसफर्ड सब्जेक्ट है, आपने 10 एल्डरमैन कैसे बना दिए? बोले उस कानून में लिखा है एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर शैल अपॉइंट 10 एल्डरमैन। तो मैंने उनको ये एक और दूसरा ऑर्डर दिखाया सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, ये 2019 में आया था सुप्रीम कोर्ट में। इसमें लिखा है कि जहां एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर लिखा होगा वहां भी मंत्रियों की चलेगी, वहां भी मुख्यमंत्री की चलेगी, ये लिखा हुआ है। ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश मैंने उनको दिखाया। मैंने कहा सर ये लिखा हुआ है कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर लिखा है तब भी हमारी चलेगी, आपकी नहीं चलेगी। तो वो तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट को मानते ही नहीं, वो तो कहते हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तो राय है। उसके बाद एक हाई कोर्ट का ऑर्डर है, वो भी मैं लेके गया था। और कुछ हो ना हो, एलजी साहब ने मेरे को वकील तो अच्छा बना दिया। ये 1998 का जजमेंट है ओपी पावा, इसमें साफ साफ लिखा है, मोटर व्हीकल्स एक्ट में डेफिनेशन है लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ दिल्ली मींस लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर। इसमें लिखा है सारी पावर दिल्ली सरकार की होगी, सारी पावर मुख्यमंत्री की होगी। तो अगर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर भी लिखा है, लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर भी लिखा है, तब भी सारी पावर दिल्ली सरकार की है, एलजी साहब की पावर नहीं है। ये सारा मैंने उनको बताया, पर वो तो माने ही नहीं, वो तो बोले कि मैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हूं। फिर मैंने कहा सर आप आजकल रोज चीफ सेक्रेटरी को ऑर्डर दे देते हो, मतलब रोज सवेरे उठते हैं, अपना लेटर हेड मंगाते हैं, लेटर हेड में लिखते हैं चीफ सेक्रेटरी इसको यहां का चेयरमैन बना दो, और चीफ सेक्रेटरी को भेज देते, चीफ सेक्रेटरी लागू करा देता है। हम मुंह बाके देखते हैं, हम तो क्या हो गया, ये टीवी में चल रहा है, अखबार में आ गया, इसको लिख देते हैं, ये इसको एल्डरमैन बना दो, इसको यहाँ का ये बना दो, इसको। ये चल क्या रहा है? मैंने एलजी साहब से पूछा, मैंने कहा चीफ सेक्रेटरी को सीधे ऑर्डर कैसे देते हो? मुख्यमंत्री मंत्री इनके थ्रू फाइलें क्यों नहीं जाती? सीधे चीफ सेक्रेटरी को ऑर्डर दे देते हो आप किसी भी सब्जेक्ट के ऊपर। बोले मैं शासक हूं, मैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हूं, मैं कोई भी ऑर्डर दे सकता हूं, किसी को भी ऑर्डर दे सकता हूं। ना तो वो संविधान मानने को तैयार हैं और ना वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर मानने को तैयार है। मैंने उनसे पूछा, मैंने कहा सर ये योगा क्यों बंद करा दिया? मोहल्ला क्लिनिक के अंदर चुनाव के एमसीडी चुनाव के नतीजे 7 तारीख को आए थे, उसके 2 महीने पहले से सारे डॉक्टरों की तनख्वाह बंद करा दी, सारे मोहल्ला क्लिनिक के रेंट बंद करा दिए, सारे मोहल्ला क्लिनिक की बिजली बंद करा दी, बिजली के बिल पेमेंट बंद करा दी, सारे टेस्ट बंद करा दिए। मैंने कहा सर ये क्यों करा दिया? दिल्ली जल बोर्ड की 3 महीने से सारी पेमेंट बंद। बड़ी मजे की बात है कि 7 तारीख को नतीजे, 8 तारीख को मोहल्ला क्लिनिक की सारी पेमेंट हो गई। तो नीयत खराब थी। जल बोर्ड की सारी पेमेंट्स बंद करा दी। हमारे जो वाटर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट बन रहे थे उनकी कंस्ट्रक्शन रुक गई, जो सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट बन रहे थे उनकी कंस्ट्रक्शन रुक गई। डीटीसी के अंदर महिलाओं की सुरक्षा के लिए जो बस मार्शल हमने लगा रखे हैं उनकी तनख्वाह 3 महीने से बंद करा दी। मैंने सर बोला, मैंने कहा सर सारे अफसर दबी जुबान में कह रहे हैं कि एलजी के ऑर्डर थे कि या तो ये सारी पेमेंट बंद करो, आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार को बदनाम करो, केजरीवाल को बदनाम करो, नहीं तो तुमको धमकी दी सारे अफसरों को कि मैं सस्पेंड कर दूं। कहते मैंने ऐसा नहीं किया। मैंने कहा सर अगर आपने ऐसा नहीं किया तो सारे अफसरों को सस्पेंड करो, जिन जिन अफसरों ने ये पेमेंट रोकी उनको करो सस्पेंड। आज तक सस्पेंड नहीं है। फिर एलजी साहब ने एक बात कही जो बड़ी चौंकाने वाली है। एलजी साहब ने कहा कि इनकी बीजेपी वालों की 20 सीट भी नहीं आ रही थी, ये तो मेरी वजह से 104 सीट आई हैं। ये तो मेरी वजह से 104 सीट आई हैं, तो इसका मतलब जानबूझ के सारी पेमेंटें रुकवाई थी। बोले अब देखना तुम्हारी 7 की 7 सीट लोकसभा में बीजेपी की आएंगी और अगली बार तुमको मैं चुनाव नहीं जीतने दूंगा विधानसभा का। एलजी साहब मुख्यमंत्री को खुलेआम धमकी देते हैं कि अगला विधानसभा वो यहाँ पे लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर दिल्ली को चलाने थोड़ी आए हैं, दिल्ली को ठप करके केजरीवाल को और आम आदमी पार्टी को बदनाम करने आए हैं। हम राजनीति करने नहीं आए सर, हम यहाँ राजनीति करने नहीं आए, हम लोगों की सेवा करने आए हैं। चुनाव जीते ना जीते हैं, राजनीति लगी रहती है, चुनाव आते जाते रहते हैं। देश जरूरी है, लोग जरूरी है, लोगों की जिंदगी जरूरी है। लोगों को इतनी प्रताड़ना करके, लोगों के मोहल्ला क्लिनिक बंद करा के, लोगों के पानी बंद करा के, लोगों की बिजली बंद करा के अगर आप चुनाव जीतना चाहते हो, चुनाव आपको मुबारक। हम लोगों की
And that is what Arvind Kejriwal had to say in the Delhi Assembly. Meanwhile, the centre has filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court in Delhi versus centre case, saying that the Chief Minister has the power to give performance review and further asking why give good grades if officials are not cooperative. Remember, the Delhi officials got 9 grading by Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal according to the submissions filed by the MHA before the Supreme Court, and now the centre has filed this affidavit in the Supreme Court against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. This as the fight between the two sides escalates. I want to bring in Aishwarya Kapoor, Executive Editor Politics, with us on the phone line. Aishwarya, give us details of the centre's affidavit in the top court against the Delhi Chief Minister.
Government is saying that what Arvind Kejriwal says is one thing and what he does is completely different. They are saying that if Arvind Kejriwal really believes that all the officers who are posted in the Delhi government are not acting as he has been saying, and his ministers have always alleged that the officers, and we are talking about IAS officers, that the IAS officers posted in Delhi government do not, and I repeat, do not listen to Arvind Kejriwal's minister and even to the Chief Minister, because that has been the allegation. Then why? Why has the Arvind Kejriwal government given all officers, or the majority of the Delhi officials have been given 9 grading, or basically even speaking, even more than 9 grading? He had the option, and that is why the centre has filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court in Delhi versus centre case, saying that CM has the power to give performance review. But despite that, most officials got grades. Why? Why to give good grades if officials are not cooperating? That is what now the central government is asking. So basically they are saying either Arvind Kejriwal or the Delhi government or his ministers were not speaking the truth when they have alleged not one but at least a dozen times, and they have done these press conferences against Delhi officers, and these are IAS officers, once again we repeat. Or they have been doing good, and just to settle their political score, they have been targeting the bureaucracy in Delhi. So either way, now the centre has filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court asking.
Right. Aishwarya, please stay on with us. We have more breaking news coming in from the National Executive Meet of the BJP on the second day, and certainly the centre escalating the attack against the Delhi Chief Minister. But on day 2, we are getting details from this meeting, as sources suggest that Basavaraj Bommai is likely to be the face of the Karnataka elections. Aishwarya, I want to quickly come back to you on this, because he is the reigning Chief Minister of Karnataka and has really led the way for the BJP in the state. Since the state is bound to see elections very soon now, it is being touted that Bommai will lead the way for the party in the Karnataka elections.
Options as far as the BJP is concerned. The BJP state unit is divided, and it's not only about Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan. All of these states are going to be very important, and to change the Chief Minister or to change the name of the Chief Minister or the leader for your face when you are heading into elections is something which is not going to be in favor of the BJP, politically speaking. And hence, we are being told by our sources that BJP has already decided that it is not only about Basavaraj Bommai, but any other state out of the 9 which are going to polls prior to 2024, they are going to stay with their present state chief ministers.
Right. Thank you, Aishwarya, for getting us those details. Let's also take a quick word from Piyush, who's live with us on the broadcast. Piyush, certainly the upcoming elections in this year are very, very crucial for the BJP, and which is why this strategy meet is happening. Not only is the larger agenda the 2024 polls, but also the very many state elections that are lined up in this year. But as far as Karnataka is concerned, this is exactly what the top leadership is deciding, that Basavararaj Bommai is the face and he will continue to lead the party in the Karnataka elections.
Well, certainly that is a confirmation also coming in from a top BJP leader, C.T. Ravi. While speaking exclusively to Republic TV, he has told us that yes, on his face only the party would be fighting elections in the state of Karnataka. Remember that there are upcoming 9 state assembly polls and BJP has now decided to put their all best efforts and it is also been said by BJP's national president JP Nadda that BJP will have to put all its efforts to win all the state assembly elections. But as far as Karnataka is concerned, on that in that particular state, Basavaraj Bommai, who is the current chief minister of Karnataka, he is going to be the face, and on his leadership only BJP will be contesting the elections in the state. There are other states too, like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Tripura, Telangana, and also few other northeastern states on which BJP will put its best. But what we are now learning, a big takeaway coming in from BJP's national executive on the day 2 is that BJP is going to fight the elections on the face of Basavaraj Bommai, and that's the confirmation coming in from C.T. Ravi. Remember that yesterday a report was also submitted by the state president of Karnataka in national executive about the developments there in Karnataka and how the party is very much prepared. In fact, C.T. Ravi has also told us that BJP is going to implement the Gujarat model campaign also in Karnataka, where they will start with strengthening the booth level workers and then going to the top level there in Karnataka. We'll have to wait and watch how the Congress party is going to react to that. But yes, big development which we are right now picking is that Basavaraj Bommai, who is the current chief minister of Karnataka, he is going to be the face. He will be leading the party as far as the campaign is concerned, and that campaign would also be assisted, as far as the campaign assisting is concerned, that would be assisted by B.S. Yediyurappa. So big development coming in from Karnataka, where Basavaraj Bommai is now going to be the face of BJP when elections take place in coming few months here in the state.
Oh yes, Piyush, a lot of important details coming out of that national executive meeting, and most importantly how the BJP is adopting a socio-economic resolution. The focus is obviously on the state of the economy in the country and the Ram Temple, and even discussing the strategy for the various state polls that are lined up in the year 2023. Piyush, just 2.5 hours to go for Prime Minister to address that very crucial meet. What more are you picking up at this point?
Well, absolutely. As we are speaking, the day 2 of national executive of BJP is underway. PM Narendra Modi will be addressing it at around 4 p.m. A couple of minutes back, we also heard that Chandrakat BJP's Gujarat president, even he addressed the national executive, where he laid out the points on which the BJP focused during its campaign in Gujarat. In fact, what we are also learning is that Union External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is also going to address the gathering, where he is going to tell about the presidency which now the country has as far as G20 is concerned. Let me also straight away try to show you pictures. I would ask my video journalist CP Singh to show you how different backdrop have also been put up here. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and many different cutouts have also been put up here, and G20 is the one which is also going to be focused as far as national executive is concerned. After this very short break, we will be getting more and more details as national executive of BJP underway in national capital. Stay tuned for all the live updates.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO, European Bath Lounges.
The biggest news. So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full force, full commitment.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh.
On day 2 of the BJP National Executive Meeting, party passes resolution thanking Prime Minister for Ram Mandir construction. Big scoop from BJP meeting, Basavaraj Bommai to lead BJP campaign in Karnataka.
परमानेंट नहीं है। कोई अगर सोचे कि मेरी सरकार बन गई, अब जिंदगी पूरे मेरी सरकार रहेगी, ऐसा नहीं होने वाला। आज मेरी सरकार है, कल हमारी सरकार नहीं होगी। हमारी सरकार 5 साल है, 10 साल है, 15 साल है, 20 साल है, कभी ना कभी तो बदलेगी। आज उनकी सरकार है, परमानेंटली उनकी सरकार नहीं होगी। आज है, कल है, परसों है, अगले दिन बदलेगी। आज दिल्ली में हमारी
Kejriwal attacks LG over teachers training. He says, who is LG to sit on the heads of executive? Another diplomatic win for the Modi government. UK government has cleared Bhandari extradition. Hafiz Saeed's brother-in-law is now a globally designated terrorist by the United Nations. Pakistan Prime Minister makes a big admission, says learnt our lesson after 3 wars with India. Thank you for staying with Republic, and a non-stop focus on the BJP National Executive Meet that has entered into its second day. A lot of key decisions that are being made in this meet. Remember, the focus is on 2024 and a lot of state polls that are lined up in the year 2023. Extremely crucial for the BJP as far as victory for the party is concerned. Now, in this meeting, the BJP has adopted a socio-economic resolution in the time to come, as they are also expressing gratitude to Prime Minister for the speedy construction of Ram Temple in Ayodhya, also bringing the Indian economy from fragile 5 to 5th largest, and important decisions even in Karnataka, where Bommai is likely to be the face for the upcoming polls. Meanwhile, my colleague Piyush also spoke with CT Ravi on the same. Let's listen in.
रणनीति अंदर के मामला है, हम स्ट्रेटजी किया है कैसा जिताना, फिर एक बार सत्ता में आना, उसके बारे में हम रणनीति तय किया है। रणनीति फील्ड में हम उपयोग करेंगे।
रिपोर्ट भी सबमिट की गई सर कर्नाटका को लेकर। कर्नाटका को लेकर कैसे आगे बढ़ेंगे उसको लेकर रिपोर्ट भी सबमिट की गई।
हाँ, रिपोर्ट कल प्रदेश अध्यक्ष ने सबमिट की है। संगठन के तरफ से क्या हो रहा है और क्या किया है उसका रिपोर्ट उन्हें दिया, और मुख्यमंत्री बसवराज बोम्माई उन्हें सरकार के तरफ से क्या बना है, उसका उपयोग कैसा हो रहा है, उसके बारे में भी उन्हें भी रिपोर्ट दी है।
बीएस येदियुरप्पा का मार्गदर्शन भी उसमें मिलेगा।
हमेशा वरिष्ठ नेता है येदियुरप्पा जी, अपना वरिष्ठ नेता है, उनका मार्गदर्शन हमेशा बीजेपी के ऊपर रहता है, आशीर्वाद भी रहता है। उनका मार्गदर्शन और आशीर्वाद से लेकर के हम चुनाव कंटेस्ट करेंगे, हम जीतेंगे।
गुजरात कैंपेन में जिस तरह से बीजेपी ने फाइट किया, जिस तरह से कैंपेन किया, क्या वो मॉडल इंप्लीमेंट?
All right, we apologize for the quality of that footage and we will try and replay this at a later point. But I want to cut across to my colleague Madhurima, who is live with us on the broadcast. Madhurima, some key decisions are being taken, which is going to have a huge impact in the year 2023 and 24 in the general elections. But most importantly, at 4 p.m. in about 2.5 hours from now, when Prime Minister is to address that crucial meet, what's lined up, what's happening as of now, and how are we building up to 4 p.m.?
Well, Swesha, this particular meet is a very crucial one, and like just we heard that we broke exclusively that how the political plan for Karnataka is panning out here in this particular executive meet, and where that who will be helming the entire political fight of Karnataka will also be decided, and that the cards have already been put on table, and that is the entire agenda of this particular national executive meet. And like you were rightly pointing out, that all eyes are awaiting to see the Prime Minister's speech and to see that what would be his agenda, because we heard JP Nadda yesterday and he had mentioned very categorically that the BJP has the goal of winning all the assembly elections, because that will be panning out too slowly towards the 2024 elections. Now what needs to be seen here is that BJP has always been an electoral machine, Swesha, because ever since 2014 the winning streak continues, and this time the Bharatiya Janata Party would like to win those wickets which it could not bag the last time, specifically like the states of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, and even the contest in the state of Madhya Pradesh was also difficult. But this time the BJP is not leaving any stone unturned to make sure that all these victories that are going to define the map for the 2024 elections are rightly placed. They are taken out and played at the right moment, and that is the entire agenda. We also heard the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman as well, and she categorically even attacked on the opposition parties, where she said that all those blames of telling that the Indian economy is fragile is not true, and time and again India has proven out to be performing well economically as well. And also, as far as the socio-economic development is concerned, Swesha, that is also being put under the lens over here at the National Executive Meet, because I'll take you to the pictures as well. Right behind me, as you can see, the biggest banner at the BJP National Executive Meet defines Garib Kalyan Hamara Sankalp. That is the poverty elevation, that to get rid of the poverty and to support the poor, to strengthen the poor of the country and help country develop. So that is the main agenda of the National Executive Meet, alongside the deliberations that are happening on the political front, Swesha. Now all of us are waiting for the Prime Minister's speech, because the agenda has been set by JP Nadda. Then we heard Nirmala Sitharaman, then there was Ravi Shankar Prasad, Dharmendra Pradhan. All of them came and laid out the entire ideology of the NDA government, specifically the BJP leadership, as to how they are planning to help India develop economically, politically and socially. So we have to see how the Prime Minister is going to put the cherry on top of this entire base that has been built by the National Executive Meeting that is continuing since yesterday. Swesha.
Oh yes, absolutely, and we are keeping a very close eye on all the developments. For the moment, Madhurima, thank you for joining us. And more breaking news coming in of how the NIA is continuing with its crackdown on PFI. In this latest detail that is coming in, NIA teams in Kollam have taken into custody a PFI activist. His name is Mohammad Siddiqui. This is in connection with the clampdown on banned outfit PFI, along with the help of Chawara police today. This happened in the morning. Mohammad Sadiq had earlier been to PFI meetings and programs. NIA has also secured some documents from him. This is coming from our sources. Let's quickly cut across to Ashwin, who's picking up further details on the same. Ashwin, tell us more about this man, Mohammad Sadiq, what the NIA is suspecting, and concrete evidence that they may have against this man.
Well, Suyesha, what we get to gather is that 38-year-old Mohammed Sadiq has been taken into custody by the National Investigation Agency early today from a place called Chavara located at Kollam district. Now, what we get to gather is that he was taken into custody much early in the morning. We also get to pick up from our sources is that he is working as an auto driver, and also he is known to have been keeping affiliations with the Popular Front of India, the now banned outfit. Now, what NIA, the reason for the swoop down on onto Kollam and thereby taking one person into custody, that needs to be ascertained by the NIA. But what we get to gather from our local sources is that the NIA has been keeping a very close watch on even the low-rung leaders of the now banned outfit, the Popular Front of India. And as part of that, people who have inclination to be more active for helping out in the spread of the Popular Front of India and its activities are being taken down and they are being questioned. And that is the reason why today NIA has come forward early in the morning today, along with the very discreet support given by the local police at Chavara police station, and picked up Mohammed Sadiq, and he has been taken into custody as well. So latest report is that it also indicates that the NIA is carefully monitoring the situation on the ground, which has come after the ban of the outfit back in September. Now, more details are awaited. At the moment, what is confirmed, 38-year-old Mohammed Sadiq, who is an auto driver by profession, has been taken into custody by the National Investigation Agency. Suesha.
All right, Ashwin, we'll keep coming back to you for more on the same. For the moment, we play out this 1-minute report.
Pakistan, which once planned to give India 1,000 cuts, is now in shambles. The people are on the roads. In Gilgit-Baltistan, the people are demanding not only food but also the basic rights. While in South Waziristan, the people are on the roads demanding that there should be law and order in Pakistan. They are saying that Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has totally taken over the regime and they are carrying out the terror attacks on security forces as well as the civilians. While it is the situation in the Gilgit-Baltistan, where the people are up in arms against the Pakistani government for not giving them their rights, and also the shortage of the food. The policy of the Pakistan has totally collapsed, and the nation that is heading towards what has happened in Sri Lanka, finding it really very hard to manage the internal situation. As province after province, the protests are erupting, and with each passing day, the situation is deteriorating. With Gaurav Sahani, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
Time for a short break. On the other side, we get you details as Hafiz Saeed's brother-in-law is now a globally designated terrorist by the United Nations. And it is another diplomatic win for the Modi government. UK government has cleared Sanjay Bhandari's extradition.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO, European Bath Lounges.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension. It is fragile, it is overstretched. But if India is to emerge as an alternative, I hate to sound cruel about it, America has to fall. Can America course correct?
Whatever happens to America, the worst affected country will be China.
So they'll fall together.
Serious problems, because the kind of problems that China will face if the export-driven economy receives a setback, I don't think the Chinese system will be able to manage.
The biggest newsmakers.
Your government says bring in the CA, change the legislation. You are saying that Hindus from Bangladesh should come, but they are also foreigners. This changes the full premise of the same students' agitation with which you have been associated yourself.
Hindu doesn't have any address except India. As a Indian, no one can deny the rights of persecuted Hindu to come back to their own motherland. Can Hindu go to Arab? Can Hindu go to Pakistan? Can Hindu go to certain other country? Hindus has to come here.
Threat to the Union Minister Nitin Gadkari, the accused, has been identified as Jayesh Pujari, one of the inmates of Hindalga jail in Belagavi, and a team of the Nagpur police along with the ATS also visited the Hindalga jail, and it is now being understood that he has been grilled for several hours. The police have found out that one set of the phone numbers belong to businessmen and VVIPs whom Jayesh Pujari was going on and targeting and making threat calls from inside the jail.
Maharashtra's district of Gadchiroli, another action between the Maoists and the security forces.
Thank you for staying with Republic, and well, after a hiatus of 3 years, the Delhi Auto Expo is back for 2023. From new launches to future concepts, the Auto Expo has it all in store and more. We're now getting you a full report on the last day of the event in the national capital.
The focus at this Auto Expo is very clear, that all electric vehicles are headed to India. While there may be reduced participation from car makers, they either have at least one vehicle or more in conception stage or in production. Let's take a look.
From green mobility to self-balancing e-scooters, Republic brings you to the world of automobiles. So brace yourselves as we hit the race to the future innovation. BYD, the global leading new energy vehicle manufacturer, unveils its new luxury model BYD Seal and the limited edition of BYD Atto 3 in its iconic color forest green at the Indian Auto Expo 2023.
This particular vehicle is based on the theme of fitness and music. Why is that? I'll show you the interiors of the car to tell you why that is. As I sit inside, you see, this is more inspired from guitar strings. So they have a sound to it, and the company says that they're strong enough to hold any bottle that is placed here. Also, if you're wondering what this is, apart from being a speaker, this is how the door opens. So if I shut the door from here and I pull it right here, you see this is how it opens. If you see this particular section on the screen here, now the one feature is that I can rotate the screen. So here you go. A lot of times when you're on the Google Maps and you want a vertical screen, this is how your screen can be rotated in this car. Also, you see this dashboard. It is based on the design of a man pumping his muscle. That is what BYD claims. And not just this, if you see right here, you can get a 360 view of the car.
As they say, unique mind brings out the best ideas. So what's the idea behind the designs? BYD.
Especially the interiors is designed with a unique and quirky fashion on music and gym and fitness. The exteriors is also sporty and with a rippled pillar, what you call the front grille design. It's not a grille; it is called a dragon face design for us, BYD design. But I think more than the design, we are also focusing on the technology of the car, because BYD comes with a blade battery technology on the E platform. What do you call as E platform? Because it's a born E SUV. It's not a converted from an IC engine. It's a born electric vehicle platform. And the blade battery, which patented by BYD, is the safest battery in the world.
And not just that, the color green forest has its own story to tell.
This is a unique color for Seal. And for BYD Atto 3, we have launched this as a limited edition, which is called the forest green. Yeah, I think in India, we want to be known as a technology brand. That is what we are looking at, a premium technology brand, because we want to promote technology, because finally EV means technology. And BYD being a technology-oriented company, we want to promote technology for the customers.
Within a year, BYD has expanded its network to 24 showrooms across 21 cities in India and hopes that it will double the presence to 53 showrooms within 2023.
This year we came into the consumer segment with the BYD Atto 3. I think we started bookings in October end and we have got close to 2,000 bookings. We have started the deliveries from January 11th. We have unveiled the third product for India, that is the BYD Seal, which is an electric premium sedan.
Founded in 1995 as a rechargeable battery maker, BYD now boasts a diverse business scope covering automobiles, rail, transit, new energy and electronics with over 30 industrial parks in China, the United States, Canada, Japan, Brazil, Hungary and India. BYD is dedicated to providing zero-emission energy solutions that reduce global reliance on fossil fuels. Its new energy vehicle footprint now covers 6 continents, over 70 countries and regions, and more than 400 cities. The company is known to be a Fortune Global 500 enterprise that furnishes innovations in pursuit of a greener world.
Basically, I think if you see, we as a global company, we term ourselves as the official sponsor of Mother Nature. But as a company, as a global company, we have taken a kind of a statement to cool the Earth's temperature by 1 degree centigrade in the future years to come by.
These newly unveiled products and innovation displays echo the Indian-specific theme at the convention, Technological Innovations for a Better Life. Stay tuned as we will come back riding for more innovative and sustainable innovations of the Day 3. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Time now for a short commercial break. On the other side, we get you details of the second day of the National Executive Meeting and how the BJP has passed a resolution thanking Prime Minister for the speedy construction of Ram Mandir. Also, Kejriwal attacking LG over teachers' training. He says, who is LG to sit on the heads of executive?
Threat to the Union Minister Nitin Gadkari, the accused, has been identified as J.S. Pujari, one of the inmates of Hindalga jail in Belagavi, and a team of the Nagpur police along with the ATS also visited the Hindalga jail, and it is now being understood that he has been grilled for several hours. The police have found out that one set of the phone numbers belong to businessmen and VVIPs whom J.S. Pujari was going on and targeting and making threat calls from inside the jail.
Maharashtra's district of Gadchiroli. Another action between the Maoists and the security forces, effort of CRPF and Maharashtra police. Number of Naxals in this area is slowly reducing. Retaliatory action that was taken by the Maharashtra police. There was firing of gunshots by the Maoists also. We do not know about the casualties as such. The operation is going.
No one has questioned Vijay Mallya like Republic.
Mr. Mallya, why the question is bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? ED and the CBI charge sheet is very clear. Why is it that the defense witness says that these why approach the IDBI question? Why is there this trying to evasion of the questions that have been put by the CBI and the ED, sir?
No one has exposed Mehul Choksi like Republic. We don't preach journalism. We practice it. Republic is the news.
The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full.
More breaking news coming in. The Indian-Australian community has once again been left in a state of shock with one of the iconic Hindu temples outside the Indian subcontinent that stands vandalized with anti-Hindu graffiti. The vandalism of the historic Sri Shiva Vishnu temple in Carrum Downs comes just within a week of anti-India and anti-Hindu graffiti that was smeared on the walls of BAPS Swaminarayanan Mandir in Mill Park. This act of vandalism that came to notice on the 16th of January, that is Monday morning, when temple devotees came for darshan, as 3 days long Thai Pongal festival is being celebrated by the Tamil Hindu community. Those are pictures coming in from Melbourne, where another temple was vandalized and anti-Hindu graffiti was smeared all across the walls. Also written on those walls of how 26 January is D-Day. And another temple that has been targeted in Melbourne within 5 days. Remember, this is the second attack that we are seeing. And you see that anti-Hindu graffiti that has been smeared all across the walls in Melbourne. The historic Sri Shiva Vishnu temple in Carrum Downs that was vandalized, and this is just 5 days after the Swaminarayanan Mandir in Mill Park was attacked. Those pictures on your screens, and we'll try and get you further details on this. For the moment, we have to slip into a very short commercial break. A quick check of what's lined up on the other side. Hafiz Saeed's brother-in-law, Abdul Rahman Makki, now a globally designated terrorist in the United Nations. And it's a diplomatic win for the Modi government. UK government has cleared Sanjay Bhandari's extradition.
Maharashtra's district of Gadchiroli. Another action between the Maoists and the security forces. Effort of CRPF and Maharashtra police. Number of Naxals in this area is slowly reducing. Retaliatory action that was taken by the Maharashtra police. There was firing of gunshots by the Maoists also. We do not know about the casualties as such. The operation is going.
No one has questioned Vijay Mallya like Republic.
Mr. Mallya, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? ED and the CBI charge sheet is very clear. Why is it that the defense witness says that these why approach the IDBI question? Why is there this trying to evasion of the questions that have been put by the CBI and the ED, sir?
No one has exposed Mehul Choksi like Republic. We don't preach journalism. We practice it. Republic is the news.
The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full force, full commitment.
biggest news.
The Chinese.
Thanks for tuning in this Tuesday afternoon. We are live and breaking. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Over the next half an hour, we'll get you all the top stories of the day, starting first with the top headlines this Tuesday afternoon. On second day of BJP National Executive Meet, party passes resolution thanking Prime Minister for Ram Mandir construction. Big scoop on BJP meeting, Basavaraj Bommai to lead BJP campaign in Karnataka.
सर आप कौन है? मेरे को तो जनता ने चुन के भेजा, कहते मेरे को प्रेसिडेंट ने भेजा.
Kejriwal attacks LG over teachers training, says who is LG to sit on the heads of executive. Another diplomatic win for Modi government. UK government clears Bhandari's extradition. Hafiz Saeed's brother-in-law, now a globally designated terrorist by the United Nations. Pakistan Prime Minister makes big admission, says learnt our lessons after 3 wars with India. Alright, we start with Newsbreak coming in, this one from Melbourne, where it's yet another temple that's been attacked in Australia's Melbourne. Remember, it's the second attack to have happened in the last 5 days. So those are the details that are just trickling in. We'll put out those visuals as well of the temple that was attacked in Melbourne, a second attack to have happened in recent days. We are also given to understand in that attack, anti-India Khalistan graffiti was put on the temple walls. 26 January Delhi D-Day message that was painted on the walls. So those are the visuals also coming in this hour of how this temple was vandalized in Melbourne. Second attack on the temple in last 5 days. And the visuals in which you can see the attack that was reported on 13th of January, and just 5 days after that, another temple that was vandalized in Melbourne, the hate graffiti that was also put on the walls of the temple. We have Vishal Munga joining us live from Melbourne. Vishal, if you can share the details with us, what is known so far? It's of course the second attack on the temple to have happened in the last 5 days.
Yes, indeed, it's a shocking incident where anti-India, anti-Hindu graffiti has been made on Sri Vishnu Temple here in Melbourne. This is a second such incident. The police is investigating the matter. Allegedly, again, the allegations are that there is a referendum that is to be done in Melbourne at the end of January. So these kind of incidents are happening. The police has not confirmed it that who's done it, but indeed what we can say, the allegation is that these could be the work of Khalistani groups. But the police investigation is still on and no confirmation has come from police. But indeed it's become a cause of worry for the Hindus living in this area. The issue again is being raised is that the conduct of the Australian government, that is what the people are saying, that the Australian government is not taking these attacks, these graffitis seriously. They have been saying that it's an issue of freedom of speech, multiculturalism, so they don't want to do anything on this Khalistani referendum. But what I can tell you is that people are really afraid, and I was talking to the temple authorities. They are concerned about the safety and security. They say they want peace and calm to be maintained, but they are really concerned about the security. Meanwhile, the police is investigating the matter. They have not really shortlisted anyone. They say the allegations are against some groups, but indeed till the time they don't finish up with the investigation, they conclusively cannot pinpoint who people are involved in the incident.
Vishal, stay with us, and just to take our viewers through the details, what we know so far, it is the second temple attack to have happened in last 5 days. This attack which has happened on the temple in Australia's Melbourne. We're also given to understand that hate graffiti that has been put on the walls of this temple, where it's written 26th of January, Delhi D-Day message. So that's the message that's been painted on the walls. Vishal, of course, continues to be with us. Vishal, anything known so far about who could be behind this? Of course, we're now given to understand that Khalistani elements could be behind this attack that has happened on the temple in Melbourne. But if you can tell us, about kind of the reactions that have been coming in from the Hindu community, because this, of course, has sparked concerns, safety concerns among the Hindu community in Australia's Melbourne as well.
See, this is a very important temple here in Melbourne, Sri Vishnu Shiva temple. This is one of the biggest Hindu temples in this area. And the anti-India graffiti, anti-Hindu graffiti on the walls of this Hindu temple has really raised concern among the Hindu community. Now, the problem here is that there have been Khalistani posters across the city where they are really going for referendum on the end of the month. So they've been taking out rallies. That is the allegation, and that is what is inciting. That is what some people are saying. But indeed, the police has not confirmed anything. The police are investigating the matter. But indeed, if you talk about the Hindu community, they feel really unsafe. They are saying that they're really concerned about this second attack. This is a very important temple, very big temple in Melbourne, and it's considered to be a very sacred place for Hindu religion people. But I can tell you that the Melbourne police is competent enough. They're investigating the first incident also, and now the second incident which has been done. They're investigating, and after the full and final investigation, we'll be able to say who were involved in this whole exercise. But in these, there are certain allegations that these could be the handiwork of Khalistani elements who are prevalent here in Melbourne, and they're trying to really create problem among the different sections of society.
Yes, Vishal, stay with us, and from what we know so far, it looks like there has been a deliberate attempt to disrupt the peace and harmony in the society. Anything known so far about the first incident which was reported in which another temple was vandalized? Who could be behind this first incident that was happened on 13th of January?
बाहर से डेलीगेट्स आ रहे हैं, सबको हमारे आदरणीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा जी के नेतृत्व में भारतीय जनता पार्टी सबको स्वागत करती है। ये केवल G20 की डेलीगेट्स नहीं आएंगे, कुछ 14 अहम मल्टीलैटरल इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो हैं जैसे कि IMF, वर्ल्ड बैंक, वो भी शामिल रहेंगे। 9 अन्य प्रमुख देशों के भी डेलीगेट्स आएंगे। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का ये विश्वास है कि G20 का अध्यक्षता केवल उनका व्यक्तिगत या भारत सरकार का भूमिका नहीं, पूरा देश का ये एक अवसर बनता है। और जो थीम बनी है वासुदैव कुटुंबकम, कि दुनिया भर की जितनी मुद्दे हैं, जितने समस्याएं हैं, हम सब उसको मिलकर मुकाबला करें, इस थीम तो भारत ने दिखाया है महामारी के समय। और केवल महामारी नहीं, महामारी के बाद अर्थव्यवस्था पर जो आंच आई है सभी देशों पर, अभी पूरी दुनिया भर ये प्रशंसा हो रही है कि अगर कोई देश ने ये अर्थव्यवस्था की स्थिति को सबसे मजबूत रख पाया, वो भारत ही है। हमारी उद्देश्य है भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ओर से कि ऐसा एक अवसर पूरी देश की जो है, जैसे कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने हमें आह्वान दिए हैं, तो समाज को इससे जोड़ना है। समाज को जोड़कर भारत को तो शोकेस करना ही है दुनिया को, और दुनिया भर से जो डेलीगेट्स आ रहे हैं उनको भी भारत की परंपराएं, भारत की इतिहास और नया भारत के विभिन्न उदाहरण दिखाने के लिए हम कोशिश करें। ये हम कोशिश करेंगे लाखों करोड़ों कार्यकर्ता, लेकिन कार्यकर्ता जैसे नहीं, हम अपनी व्यक्तिगत और सामाजिक पहचान से इस जो साल भर विभिन्न जगहों पे 50 से ज़्यादा स्थानों पर 200 से ज़्यादा ऐसे इवेंट्स होंगे, यही एक ऐतिहासिक मामला है। क्योंकि जब अन्य देशों ने G20 का अध्यक्षता करते हैं, कोई 1, 2, 4 जगहों पे ऐसे इवेंट करते हैं, तो जो अवसर मिलेगा इतने सारे डेलीगेट्स को भारत के विभिन्न जगह दिखाने के लिए, ऐतिहासिक स्थल दिखाने के लिए, और हमारा नया भारत के जो प्रगति हो रही है, जैसे कि हम वोकल फॉर लोकल, हर जगह की स्थानीय जो कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स हैं, उनको दिखाने के लिए हम कोशिश करेंगे। और सिविल सोसाइटी को इसके साथ जोड़ने के लिए हम प्रयास करेंगे। इसके लिए तो ऑफिशियल ग्रुप्स तो बने ही हैं, जैसे कि W20 महिलाओं की, साइंस 20, सिविल 20, थिंक टैंक 20, और इसके पैरेलली हम भी प्रयास करेंगे कि जैसे हम उत्साहित हैं, करोड़ों कार्यकर्ता भारतीय जनता पार्टी के देश भर, पूरे समाज के सभी वर्ग इसके साथ जोड़ना चाहिए। भारत का, आधुनिक भारत का, हमारे परंपराओं का, इतिहास का, और नया भारत सक्षम हो रहा है विभिन्न विषय में, उसको हम शोकेस करें। इस पर चर्चा हुई है। आदरणीय विदेश मंत्री इस पर एक वक्तव्य भी रखे हैं और एक स्टेटमेंट भी हम अभी दर्ज कर रहे हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद भजन पांडे जी। अभी आज हमारी बैठक में एक और वक्तव्य गरीब कल्याण को लेकर हुआ है, तो मेरा आदरणीय सुधा यादव जी से आग्रह है कि आप लोगों को उस विषय के बारे में अवगत कराएं।
Day 2 of the national executive meet of the BJP. BJP there pushing for local for vocal pitch. So BJP is briefing there in which the BJP leader says that more than 200 events will take place across the country in itself, which in itself is an achievement. That comes on the day of day 2 of the national executive meet, which is being chaired by the Prime Minister. Details also coming in of how it's been discussed. Sources telling Republic that Basavaraj Bommai would be the chief minister face for the BJP in Karnataka. And a quick roundup of news in brief. Massive win for Modi government as UK Home Secretary has ordered extradition of fugitive arms dealer Sanjay Bhandari to the country. Sanjay Bhandari's extradition has been ordered in a money laundering case being probed by the Enforcement Directorate. A 14 days time has been given to Sanjay Bhandari's to be filed in appeal. Prime Minister Modi arrived along with BJP National President JP Nadda at the second day of BJP's national executive meet at the national capital. Sources suggest that BJP socio-economic resolution in the national executive expressed gratitude to the Prime Minister for speedy construction of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has admitted that the country has learnt its lesson after 3 wars with India and stressed that it wants peace. Shehbaz Sharif in an interview with a Pak television also made an appeal to Prime Minister Modi, saying Pakistan wants peace.
My message to the Indian leadership and Prime Minister Modi is that let's sit down on the table and have serious and sincere talks to resolve our burning issues.
The remark by Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has triggered a lot of reactions. Former J&K Deputy Chief Minister and BJP leader Kavinder Gupta has said that India has always backed for peace, but Pakistan rulers always backed terrorism.
प्रधानमंत्री शहबाज शरीफ ने एक इंटरव्यू में ये बात कही है कि भारत के साथ जो हमने 3 युद्ध किए हैं उसका नतीजा कुछ नहीं निकला। हम भारत तो पहले से ही ये कहता आया है कि शांति बहाली के लिए काम करना चाहिए, लेकिन पाकिस्तान में जितने हुक्मरान रहे उनके कानों पर जूं तक नहीं रहती थी। आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा देना, भारत के खिलाफ भड़काना, कश्मीर को समस्या बना देना, ये जानते हुए कि यहाँ कुछ नहीं होने वाला है। पाकिस्तान में जो इंटरनल आज हालात हैं उससे सबक सीखने की बारी है।
NC has welcomed Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's statement on peace with India and urged the Indian government to start talks with Pakistan. Sheikh Bashir, Provincial Secretary, said that appeals must be made.
नॉर्मलाइज करना है तो ये बातों से नहीं होगा, उसके लिए प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच करनी होगी। और ये खुशाइंद बात है कि अगर उनको ये समझ आ गई है कि जंग से कोई मसला हल नहीं होता है, और मैं अपील करूंगा कि इस चीज़ को नोटिस किया जाए और इसको बातचीत शुरू की जाए।
Meanwhile, United Nations Security Council has listed Pak-based terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist under its sanctions committee. The listing comes after China last year put on India's bid to name the Lashkar LET leader a global terrorist. Meanwhile, 2 terrorists were neutralized after an encounter broke out between security forces and terrorists in J&K's Badgam district. The encounter happened near the district court complex in Badgam town. The police and the army, meanwhile, have cordoned off the area. No end to civic apathy in Bengaluru. Road caves in inches 2 days after it was repaired. The Mahalakshmi layout main road was repaired after the pipeline work. The quality of road work has once again come under lens. A big lead in the Delhi terror plot as sources have now informed that the Delhi police is on the lookout for 4 other terrorist suspects. They received weapons from Pakistan through drop-dead method and were in touch with handlers in Pakistan via Wayanad. Cracks have widened within the Mahagathbandhan in Bihar as face-off has intensified over the Ramcharitmanas. After the Bihar Education Minister Chandrasekhar tweeted on Ramcharitmanas, Nitish Kumar has now said that no one should interfere in anyone's religion.
कि हम लोगों का व्यू है कोई भी धर्म को मानने वाला हो उसमें किसी भी तरह तक उसमें इंटरफेरेंस नहीं करना चाहिए। वो सब लोग जिस ढंग से भी धर्म का पालन करते हैं धर्म का पालन करें, सबको इज्जत मिलनी चाहिए। इसमें किसी तरह का हस्तक्षेप नहीं करना चाहिए। जिसको जो अपना मन करे वो करे, वही पूजा करे, लेकिन इन सब चीज़ों पर कोई चीज़ नहीं करना चाहिए। हमने तो पहले ही समझा दिया, तो अभी तो डिप्टी सीएम ने भी कह दिया, इसलिए वो सब कोई बात।
All right, to the other big story we've been tracking, this one coming in from Pakistan, where big statements have come in from the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, where he's openly called for dialogue with India. In fact, he's also went on to say that how Pakistan has learned its lessons after the 3 wars with India. Not just this, he's even went on to say that that Pakistan is open for talks with the country and that all the country wants is peace at this point. Now remember, this comes even as Pakistan grapples with the economic crisis. Of course, there is food and power crisis in the country, and while the country battles with that economic crisis, the statement that has come in from the Pakistan Prime Minister, where he says that the country is open to dialogue with India. Let's just play out that soundbite of the Pakistan Prime Minister where he's called for dialogue with India.
We are neighbors. We are neighbors. And let's be very blunt. Even if we are not we are not neighbors by choice, but we are there forever. And it is up to us to live peacefully and progress, or quarrel with each other and waste time and resources. That's up to us. Pakistan has learned its lesson. We had 3 wars with India, 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries,
to the
unemployment,
2 nations,
poverty, and millions were demoted from their level of satisfaction to a lower level of satisfaction. We have learned our lesson, and we want to live in peace with India, provided we are able to resolve our genuine problems.
Yes.
Now this is very important أختي. هذا نقطة مهمة جدا.
صحيح.
ضروري يعني. So my message to the Indian leadership and Prime Minister Modi is that let's sit down on the table and have serious and sincere talks to resolve our burning issues like Kashmir, where flagrant violation of human rights are taking place day in and day out.
So there you heard the big statement that has come in from the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, where he's openly called for dialogue with the country. Not just this, he's even went on to say that all Pakistan wants at this point, at this juncture, is nothing but peace, and that Pakistan has learned its lessons from the past wars that Pakistan has had with the country. In fact, a lot of reactions as well that have been coming in. Let's listen in.
हकीकत है कि 1947 से लेके आज तक हिंदुस्तान और पाकिस्तान के दरमियान में इख्तलाफात भी रहे, बीच में हालात ठीक भी होते रहे, और दोनों मुल्क इंटरनेशनल कॉन्स्पिरेसी का शिकार रहे. ये मैं सफाई से कहूँगा. दोनों मुल्कों को, चूँकि मुल्क जब अलग हुआ, होना नहीं चाहिए था, हो गया, तो उसके बाद आज तक ये जो साल बीते हैं, दोनों की आपस में हालात अच्छे नहीं रहे. और अगर ये सेंस प्रिवेल कर गई है उनके ऊपर कि नॉर्मलाइज करना है, तो ये बातों से नहीं होगा, उसके लिए प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच करनी होगी. और ये खुशाइंद बात है कि अगर उनको ये समझ आ गई है कि जंग से कोई मसला हल नहीं होता है, और मैं अपील करूँगा कि इस चीज़ को नोटिस किया जाए और इसको बातचीत शुरू की जाए.
पाकिस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री शहबाज शरीफ ने एक इंटरव्यू में ये बात कही है कि भारत के साथ जो हमने 3 युद्ध किए हैं उसका नतीजा कुछ नहीं निकला. भारत तो पहले से ही ये कहता आया है कि शांति बहाली के लिए काम करना चाहिए, लेकिन पाकिस्तान में जितने हुक्मरान रहे उनके कानों पर जूं तक नहीं रहती थी. आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा देना, भारत के खिलाफ भड़काना, कश्मीर को समस्या बना देना, ये जानते हुए कि यहाँ कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. पाकिस्तान में जो इंटरनल आज हालात हैं उससे सबक सीखने की बारी है, और अंदर ही उनके आग सुलग रही है. चाहे वो बलोचिस्तान हो, कराची हो, सिंध हो, सभी जगह वो अलग होने की मांग कर रहे हैं. तो भारत ने बहुत बार हाथ बढ़ाया है. हमने पहले जब अटल जी यहाँ से बस लेकर के गए थे, उसके अलावा प्रधानमंत्री जी कच्ची के लिए उनके जन्मदिन की मुबारक देने के लिए गए थे नवाज शरीफ के, लेकिन उन्होंने हर बार इसका उल्टा मतलब लिया है. भारत एक डेवलपिंग और डेवलप्ड कंट्री बन चुका है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान की जिस प्रकार से हालत है, इकट्ठे हम आज़ादी हमने मिली थी, लेकिन इन सभी को देखते हुए मुझे लगता है कि पाकिस्तान को अगर सच में इस प्रकार की अकल आई है, देर आए दुरुस्त आए, तो इस पर विचार करना चाहिए और कोई इसके लिए मीडिएटर बनकर काम ना करे, खुद इससे बात करनी चाहिए और इससे सबक सीखना चाहिए.
तो अगर पाकिस्तान टेररिज्म का रास्ता छोड़ देता है और उसके सबूत भारत को दे देता है, तब जाके फिर मुझे तो कोई शक नहीं कि भारत भी दोस्ती का हाथ बढ़ाएगा। लेकिन जब तक ये नहीं करेगा तो हम बात नहीं करेंगे उनके साथ। हमारी विदेश नीति, प्रधानमंत्री और विदेश मंत्री ने कई बार कहा है कि टॉक्स और टेररिज्म, बातचीत और टेररिज्म दोनों एक साथ नहीं हो सकती। और ये भारत की विदेश नीति में बदलाव आया है, जिसके कारण पाकिस्तान अभी घुटने पे है। तो अभी देखिए, पाकिस्तान की अपनी मर्जी है। अगर वो टेररिज्म के रास्ते पे चलना चाहता है, वो जरूर चले, खुद ही मरेगा। और अगर वो बातचीत करना चाहता है, तब तो उसको टेररिज्म का रास्ता छोड़ना पड़ेगा। यू वांट इंग्लिश?
All right, to the other big story that we've been tracking, the United Nations Security Council has listed Pakistan terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist. Now this, even as last year China had put that resolution on hold to list the Pakistan terrorist who is an LET handler as a global terrorist. In fact, just to talk a little more about Abdul Rahman Makki, who is now a global terrorist, an LET handler, in June last year, India had slammed China after it blocked the proposal to list the terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki under the Sanctions Committee, also known as the UNSC 1267 Committee. In fact, a lot of reactions coming in from the defense experts after United Nations has listed him as a global terrorist.
हिंद, वंदे मातरम। आज बड़ी अच्छी खबर आ रही है। पाकिस्तान बेस्ड टेररिस्ट लश्कर ए तोयबा का अब्दुल रहमान मक्की, जो कि हाफिज सईद का ब्रदर इन लॉ भी है, कजन ब्रदर भी है और लश्कर ए तोयबा का नंबर 2 है, उसको यूएन ने ग्लोबल टेररिस्ट डिक्लेयर कर दिया है। अब्दुल रहमान मक्की हिंदुस्तान के अंदर उसने कई अटैक्स करवाए। वो 26/11 मुंबई अटैक के पीछे भी था और उसको पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट ने खुद ने अपने एंटी टेररिस्ट कोर्ट्स के अंदर ट्राई किया। उसको सजा भी मिली 2020 में। अनफॉर्चुनेटली पाकिस्तान का एक सिस्टम है, वो दुनिया को दिखाने के लिए एक प्रोसेस स्टार्ट करते हैं, सजा दिला देते हैं और बाद में बंदे को एक्विट करा देते हैं। इस केस के अंदर उसको 50,000 रुपए के फाइन में छोड़ दिया गया। फाइनली आज यूएन ने उसको ग्लोबल टेररिस्ट डिक्लेयर कर दिया है। ये डिक्लेरेशन के बाद पाकिस्तान अब हार्ड एविडेंस मांग रहा है। हार्ड एविडेंस किस बात का? आपके खुद के कोर्ट्स ने उसको ट्राई किया है और उसके ऊपर फाइन लगाया है। मेरी तरफ से आज पूरे
All right, we'll get you more reactions of the defense experts as United Nations has listed Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist. For now, a very short break. Lots coming up on the other side of this very short break. As AAP versus the LG face-off intensifies, Kejriwal in the Delhi Assembly says, who is LG to sit on the heads of the executive? And another diplomatic win for Modi government. UK government clears Bhandari's extradition.
When timeless European design meets cutting-edge technology, it's QO. QO, European Bath Lounges.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 10 years. With top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
No one has questioned Vijay Mallya like Republic.
Mr. Mallya, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? ED and the CBI charge sheet is very clear. Why is it that the defense witness says that these White approached the IDBI question? Why is there this trying to evasion of the questions that have been put by the CBI and the ED, sir?
No one has exposed Mehul Choksi like Republic. We don't preach journalism. We practice it. Republic is the news.
The biggest news.
So in your view, what was the role of the media at a time when national security can be jeopardized? So do you think there was a section of the narrative, people, media, whatever, wittingly or unwittingly, for example, vis-a-vis Pakistan normalizing terrorism?
I think the real debate with Pakistan is not should you talk to Pakistan or not talk to Pakistan. It is what should you talk to Pakistan about. And there has been clarity in the last 5 years that unless we address the issue of terrorism, cross-border terrorism, talking about anything else doesn't make sense.
The biggest newsmakers.
How's the faster rollout of 5G made possible? Were you working on deadlines?
We have a leadership which believes in performance, which believes in delivery, which believes in making sure that whatever people's aspirations are, those aspirations are met with full vigor, full force, full commitment.
The biggest news.
The Chinese economy is not as attractive as it used to be. The American economy is hinged on an overextension.
No one has questioned Vijay Mallya like Republic.
Mr. Mallya, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? ED and the CBI charge sheet is very clear. Why is it that the defense witness says that why approach the IDBI question? Why is there this trying to evasion of the questions that have been put by the CBI and the ED, sir?
No one has exposed Mehul Choksi like Republic. We don't preach journalism. We practice it. Republic is the news.
On the second day of the BJP's National Executive Meeting, the party passes a resolution thanking the Prime Minister for the construction of the Ram Mandir. Big scoop from the BJP meeting, Basavaraj Bommai to lead the BJP's campaign in the state of Karnataka. Arvind Kejriwal attacks the LG over teachers' training. He says, who is the LG to sit on the head of an elected government? Another diplomatic victory for the Modi government. UK government has now cleared the extradition of the arms dealer Sanjay Bhandari. Hafiz Saeed's brother-in-law is now a globally designated terrorist by the United Nations. And the Pakistani Prime Minister making a big admission. He says, and I quote, learnt a lesson after 3 wars with India. A very good afternoon and thank you for staying with us on Republic. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. We begin this edition of the news with this breaking development coming in from the aviation sector. In fact, on the 10th of December, we are learning there was a scare where passengers on board an Indigo 6C flight, this is 6C 7339, traveling from Chennai to Trivandrum, after a passenger here opens the emergency door. Now, we are learning that the DGC already has ordered a probe into the matter. We'll also have Harsha, who has more details, joining us on the broadcast to tell you more of what really happened. A scary incident there after a passenger tries to open the emergency door. Like I said, the Director General of Civil Aviation already has announced a probe in the entire matter. This was a passenger traveling on flight 6C 7339 from Chennai to Trivandrum on December the 10th. He opens the emergency exit during the boarding process. We are given to understand this happened accidentally. Harsha, has this passenger been identified? Do we know who he or she was? What really happened?
Dipti, we are learning that the details of the passenger has already been shared by the airlines with the DGCA, and the complaint was also lodged. Complaint was lodged, Dipti, not only with the DGCA but with the airport authorities and with the CISF as well. As soon as this entire incident happened, the details of the passenger was shared, and this was when the flight was going on 10th of December from Chennai to Tiruchirappalli in the morning hours when this incident happened. When we take an airline, there are certain SOPs that has to be followed, but the air hostess clearly stated that the emergency exit was opened accidentally by the passenger. He later apologized. He didn't follow the SOP, but then the aircraft got very late because the pressure was checked. The mandatory checkings were done later on also after the emergency exit was opened, because there were other passengers which got scared after the emergency exit got open. Now the probe has been ordered in this entire incident. The DGCA and the airlines is also looking into it. We have got to know that the airlines is taking action against passenger.
Okay, Harsha there telling us more of what really has happened, and like we understood, the DGC already has ordered a probe into the entire incident. The name of the passenger not yet shared, but we'll track that story closely. For the moment, Harsha, thank you. And let's shift our focus to another big controversy developing in the state of Bengal, where Mamata Banerjee blames the centre now for the Joshimath subsidence. Now, she's not only raising the entire issue, but she also says that dictation is going to happen in Bengal, and at least she says 20,000 people will die. She says that centre will be responsible for those deaths. This is coming in the backdrop of the upcoming Panchayat elections and allegations of TMC's sand mafia links. So another time you have Mamata Banerjee versus the centre. This is after she is now blaming the centre for what happened in Joshimath. She lays the blame completely on the centre, and she says it's the centre responsible for the subsidence, the land subsidence that has been reported from Joshimath. She continues to peddle a lot more fears. Before we take the story ahead, let's listen in to exactly what we heard from the Chief Minister of West Bengal.
Situation is very dangerous. It's a very important mode. पहले इसको बंदोबस्त क्यों नहीं किया जब इंफॉर्मेशन था? Same situation is going on in Raniganj also. I am telling you, we are fighting with the central government. आज 10 साल से हम लोग फाइट कर रहे हैं. जो रुपया उसको देने का बात था, कोल इंडिया का वो जो बे होता है ना, जस्ट लाइक अर्थक्वेक, धौस बोलता है जो बंगाल में लैंडस्लाइड हो जाता है, उसमें 20,000 लोग एक साथ में मर जाएगा अगर उसको घर हम नहीं कर देंगे. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का कंसर्न है इस कोल इंडिया, और उसमें ECL ने हम लोग जमीन वगैरह वगैरह सब दे के रखा, लेकिन वो लोगों ने आज तक नहीं रुपया दिया, आज तक नहीं बनाया. हम लोग कुछ रुपया जो हमारे पास थे हम थोड़ा से बनाया, लेकिन उसमें नहीं करने से कोल इंडिया का वही रानीगंज में सेम प्रॉब्लम विल बी देयर. 30,000 people will be affected. Joshimath also, I think the people are not responsible. It is the duty of the government to take care of the people if there is any disaster.
So that is what you heard from the Chief Minister of West Bengal. Let's also get in our colleague Kishle, who's joining us from our sister channel Republic Bangla's newsroom, and he's broken the story. Kishle, why don't you first up tell us what really has Mamata Banerjee specifically said? She's spoken about Joshimath. She also is talking about what's happening in Bengal, and she's saying that it is because of the centre that 20,000 people will die. Kishle.
Well, exactly, Dipti, this is what she has said. She has completely blamed the centre that the Raniganj coalfield, which is one of the biggest coalfield in India as well as in Asia, she's saying that this particular coalfield is in utter danger. It can subside anytime, and she has been speaking to the centre, fighting with the centre for 10 years. She is saying, yet the centre has not done anything and has not provided any assistance in this case. She is saying that the whole area can subside, the whole coal mine of Raniganj can subside like Joshimath. What happened in Joshimath was the whole area is subsiding and the houses are developing cracks. She's saying the whole thing can happen in Raniganj as well, because the whole area is sitting on a land which is very delicate and which is not at all firm and strong. That whole area can subside and 20,000 people can die anytime when it happens. And she's saying that the center is the reason. The central government is not providing any assistance to the state in this issue. And also she's blaming the Coal India, that the proper way of coal mining is not being followed, is what she has suggested. So the opposition is asking that why she's saying all this after the Joshimath incident. Also in Raniganj there are several allegations of coal theft and smuggling. So that is also one of the issues that can cause the whole land to subside because it happens in an unscientific way. So all these questions are coming up. Deepti.
Okay, Kishle, another important question is the timing of this entire issue that Mamata Banerjee has raised this issue on. Coming very close to the Panchayat elections, is she deliberately want to, stoke fear right now and say that, this is happening and you have to blame the center for this? And why is she totally silent on the entire, allegations of the sand mafia? A lot of that money actually goes to the TMC, and that again is an open secret, Kishle.
Well, exactly, Deepti, well put, because just yesterday there was an event where one of the TMC MLAs went to the villages and one TMC worker said that because the sand mining business is there, the Trinamool Congress party is surviving, which has again raised the question that what connection the Trinamool Congress or TMC has with illegal sand mafia and illegal sand mining. And this is also connected to what she has said today,